That's a day that's going to be remembered by a lot of people.
You bet.
10-day, what is it, 10-day tour across the United States.
You know, the funny thing about this is not funny, but usually on this very date, the city of Miami is more susceptible to hurricanes than any other time of the year. Fortunately, nothing is going on out there. The Pope will have pretty good weather.
Let's hope so.
Oh, throngs of people are going to see the Pope in all of his stops, and funny, I will be running into one of those stops this weekend.
Yeah, lucky you, heading to Los Angeles.
Yeah, and the Pope will be out there.
Busiest time of all for the city, too.
All the hotels
You
are
guys
booked.
going to have lunch
Great
or what?
traffic.
I don't think so, Ray.
He hasn't called, huh?
It hasn't called yet. Tell you what we're going to talk about this morning. There is a program in Jacksonville that allows area residents to enjoy college credit classes without the hassle, I should say, of worrying about making the grade. Don't have to worry about that. And I think you're going to find the cost incredible, and the selection is equally incredible. We're going to talk about that in this half hour.
Sounds good.
Well, again today, we'll look at some weather that seems to be improving. There is a frontal zone to the north, but I think it's going to hang up there. We'll tell you more about that in just a moment.
All right, here are the news headlines. A federal judge is now deciding whether to let attorneys for accused drug smuggler Carlos Lader move his trial from Jacksonville. Jurors who found Don Gaffney guilty will be back in the courtroom today on the stand themselves this time. In national news, the Supreme Court Justice says President Reagan is at the bottom of the list when it comes to racial fairness. And of course, we're going to talk more about the Pope's visit to Miami today and how it affects us in Jacksonville. But first, a look at the weather.
Starting out pretty good today.
Yeah, and it was nice yesterday.
You like that, didn't you?
Beginning to feel a little cooler even with the sun out.
Did you run yesterday?
I did.
Okay, you can run again today because the weather's going to be mostly sunny. Now, here's what we're going to look at when we start the day, and we are starting. Clear skies, 74 degrees, winds are calm, and pressure is steady at 29.99. Humidity 93%. SkyTrack color radar scanning 150 miles. All is clear with the exception around Savannah off the coast. A few showers there. Remember, the frontal zone is dropping in this direction and just to the northwest of town, so back around the Gulf Coast also you'll see some showers there, but most of it will stay back to the north and northwest at this time. Currently at the surface, here's what we've got. This morning, you see the frontal boundary here. Little activity could pop off the coastline this morning. Highs today around 91. Still summery, but not quite as bad. We're kind of in between fall and summer at this time. St. Augustine will have a high of 88, Palatka 89, and Brunswick 89 degrees as well. PM rush hour, there it is. The showers right where we said they'd be, and that's what we can expect. On the coast today, the marine forecast, winds from the southwest at 10 knots. Seas 1 to 3 feet. Inland waters a light to a moderate chop. High tide this morning, 11:21 at Mayport. The forecast today, mostly sunny. An isolated thunderstorm is possible. High 91 inland, 88 at the coast. Tonight, partly cloudy. It's still just a chance of showers to the northwest of town. Overnight low near 70. The next 5 days, well, Saturday and Sunday we'll have another chance of showers and thunderstorms, so our weekend is beginning to cloud up a bit, but it's still 50-50. We'll keep an eye on that and tell you more later. Temperatures in the mid-80s to around 90 degrees.
All right, thanks, Rick.
You're welcome, Jill.
Several busloads of Jacksonville Catholics are about to leave Immaculate Conception Church downtown for what may be the biggest event in their lives. For many of them, Mass with the Pope in Miami today. Al Rothstein is there right now. Al?
I think, Joan, that is the best way to describe this, the biggest event of their lives. Now, some have already seen the Pope, but a lot of people here haven't. And this quiet little corner, normally a quiet little corner downtown at 6 o'clock in the morning, is packed with excitement. 3 busloads of people, about 120 people, some who can barely walk. Every bone in their body is geared up for this. And these 3 busloads are going to be filled with anticipation on that 6.5-hour trip down to Miami today. They'll see the Pope tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 for Mass. About 300,000 people will be there. With me now first is Margot Acra, who arranged this trip. Ms. Acra, thank you for being with us. First, tell me why. Why is this trip happening?
Why is happy?
Well, yeah, why is it a happy event?
A happy event because we are so privileged and so fortunate to have our Holy Father, the Pope, here with us in Miami. He is a great man, and he's a man of impact, and he's changing, I think, in many ways, the course of the world. So we are there to celebrate with him this great occasion.
I think that was very well said. Thank you very much, Ms. Akron. Let me bring in here somebody who has seen the Pope before, Gladys White, somebody who is coming in. Come on in here, Ms. White, and tell me, you have seen the Pope before. Tell me, what kind of a thrill was it for you?
Well, we see the Pope as the vicar of Christ on earth, as a Catholic. and the leader of our church. And it's a very edifying spiritual experience to see him in person and receive his blessings in person.
Enough to make you want to go back again.
Oh, indeed. I saw him in Rome, and I couldn't wait. I think I was one of the first ones to sign up for the trip this time.
Well, right now, I want to ask somebody who has never seen the Pope in person, Betty Driggers, somebody else who's going on the trip. Come on right over here, Ms. Driggers, and tell me something. You've heard these people describe what it's like to see the Pope, and you've never seen him. What are you expecting?
I'm very excited. I just can't express it. And he's a celebrity. And very holy and the head of our church.
Would you say this is going to be the highlight of your religious life?
This is the highlight of my whole life.
This is it.
This is it.
Thank you, all three of you, for being with us this morning, and have a terrific trip. Rick says you might have some good weather down there. A good trip. Thank you very much. It looks like you're going to have it.
I know we are.
Thanks very much for being with us. Thank you. And that's just 3 of the more than 100 people who will be on these 3 buses that you see behind. I don't know how many buses you can see, but there are 3 big buses behind me, Joan.
Al, you talked with some of Jacksonville's younger Catholics in a story that you did for us yesterday. Are you finding that their values are on the same level, their religious values, as these older folks are, or is there a big generation gap kind of difference?
Well, there doesn't seem to be that generation gap that you might expect. The kids seem to be just as thrilled about this, even though they're not going to see the Pope, as these people are. It seems like it might be hard to describe, but it's not when you just see the looks in their faces. Those of you who saw the story yesterday, the kids were very happy and very excited. They're not going to see him in person, but they're going to see him this afternoon on television.
All right, thank you very much, Al, for that report. In our second half hour, we're going to talk about changing values within the Catholic Church. That'll be just part of our discussion with a local priest. Also, a local rabbi will join us to talk about how Jews feel about this visit. In other news this morning, a federal judge is considering a request to move the trial for accused drug smuggler Carlos Lader out of Jacksonville. In making their request, Lader's attorneys called on a researcher who says her survey shows Jacksonville residents are terrified of Lader. She says 1/3 of the people she talked with already think Lader is guilty, and she says it will be hard to find an impartial jury here. Jurors from the Don Gaffney trial will take the stand themselves in court today. In July, they found the former city councilman guilty of influence peddling while he was a member of the council. But Gaffney's attorneys say that's not what the jury intended. Roger Weeder has the details.
You appeal? Well, of course. I'm certain you'll check me.
The highly publicized trial involving Representative Gaffney received extensive local media coverage. After the 4.5-week-long trial, some jurors openly complained they were pressured to cast guilty votes.
So why was there a guilty verdict? Why not guilty on those?
You couldn't, when we requested that it was just, you couldn't follow the rules, throw everything away. No.
Other jurors said media reports of the trial made their way into the courtroom. That's why the Gaffney case is now back in court. What District Judge Howell Melton must decide is if media reports were discussed by jurors and whether those reports influenced the jury's decision. To answer those questions, each juror will be questioned by Gaffney's attorneys and federal prosecutors. For Don Gaffney, this unusual legal proceeding could result in a new trial. Roger Weeder for Good Morning Jacksonville.
In national news, President Reagan is defending his civil rights record, saying he doesn't understand why Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall lambasted that record in a public interview. Columnist Carl Rowan asked Marshall where President Reagan ranks on racial issues.
What about Ronald Reagan?
Events throw some new light.
The bottom.
Soviet American.
The bottom. Honestly, I think he's down with Hoover. Wilson.
Familiar with the nature.
When we didn't have a chance on
ideology and intentions.
Yet he's been one of the most popular presidents the country ever had in the polls. Is he more popular than the average movie star?
Now, it is highly unusual for a Supreme Court justice to comment on a president still in office. We've got our business news coming up, which will feature something for those of you who are Ford owners. But first, a look at sports. Mike?
Thanks, Joni. Well, coming up right after the break, Harmon Wages has the highlights of the U.S. Open tennis tournament. Plus, we're going to take a look at one of the biggest upsets on the ladies' circuit. The time now, 10 minutes past 6 o'clock. This is Good Morning Jacksonville. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Why are more people buying electronics from Walmart? Name brands and lower prices on the products you want, like this Panasonic answering machine.
Boy, could we use that.
We'll never miss a call.
At Walmart, it's just $69.93 every day. And this Kodak 35mm camera.
With auto exposure.
And motor advance.
Just $59.93. Electronics from Walmart. Name brands, lower prices. Why buy anywhere else?
Dennis? Sure thing. Nice couple. Just bought their first house. Ooh, that's nice. Said they came to Scotty's because we were nearby. Once they got here, they found out we had a lot to offer. Good selection, salespeople who know their stuff. Some of the best prices in the home improvement business. I'm telling you, with all that, it's easy to see why so many people are shopping here. I mean, we got it all. Okay, Mr. Salesman, let's get back to work.
They are offering a lot of different varieties that I have not seen here before in Jacksonville. And the prices are low and the store is clean.
And I spend anywhere from $80 to $100 a week, and I like the way it's set up. I don't have to go up and down aisles hunting for what I want. I like the brands.
I really like the prices, and I think it's going to be great. We're just welcome to Jacksonville.
The prices on quite a few things that I've seen are very reasonable. I was shocked.
The guy at the stereo store told me, this is the perfect system for you. Trust me, it's perfect. I don't think so. My neighbor doesn't think so. My dog doesn't think so. I should have gone to Circuit City.
Circuit City's highly trained staff is dedicated to giving you the right advice every time. After all, we guarantee satisfaction. Circuit City, the intelligent choice.
Hi, I'm Rick Mitchell, and here's the next Summer Savings Sweepstakes lucky number. The number is 020700. If you find this lucky number on the back of your sweepstakes book, you must present the mailing label to WTLV by 5 p.m. Monday, September 14th. Keep watching TLV 12 for more lucky number winners.
13 after 6 o'clock and 74 degrees. This is Good Morning Jacksonville. Some great action at the U.S. Open with McEnroe and Lendl going at it, but as in most contests, only one can be victorious. And in another match, Jimmy Connors falls by the wayside. Harmon has those stories and more in this report.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. We're going to talk about tennis in the first half of Good Morning Jacksonville. Well, last night, based on the crowd, more than 20,000 with about another 1,000 crouched in the aisles, it seemed like Saturday had come early. They came to see two former champions, John McEnroe and Yvonne Lendl, in this early play of the U.S. Open. Now watch this play. McEnroe near court, Lendl serving. And there the great play by McEnroe. The two exchanged serves, service wins 3 times, then Lendl took over. Several times on the ace, and other times just amazing accuracy with the topspin forehand lob. Lendl won 6-3, 6-3, and 6-4. Jimmy Connors also advanced yesterday, but only after a tough first set against Brad Gilbert, who won the first set 6-4. Connors then went on to win 3 straight sets. Connors serving 6-3, 6-4, and 6-loves.
Fair.
Connors in the far court played with a badly bruised foot and showed signs of wanting the finals one more time. And other men advancing in the finals or quarterfinals, I should say, Stefan Edberg, Mats Wilander, and Miroslav Michier. For the ladies, a major league upset yesterday. Chris Everett losing in 3 sets to Lori McNeil. McNeil there the win. McNeil now has a chance to become the first black player to win since Althea Gibson in 1958. Now watch the right of your screen. Steffi Graf on the return coming up. She gave the wrath of Graf to Shriver, 6-4, 6-3. And for the second-seeded Martina Navratilova, far court. A tough opponent, Gabriela Sabatini. She was down 3-5 in the first set and came back to win 7-5. Now she'll go on to win the second set, 6-3, to advance. We'll come back with more sports in about 20 minutes. We'll talk about FSU football, baseball from last night, and of course a look at some prep football with the Paxton Eagles.
Thank you, Armin. 1:15. Incidentally, Connors did win the match.
I'm glad we were wrong. That's fine. I like Jimmy Connors. He's pretty good.
Couldn't stand to have both Chris and Jimmy lose at the same time.
Well, that would be terrible.
That's what America.
All right, we need to talk a little bit more about weather in Miami.
Okay, I've got some late information for you. Thursday afternoon and evening, there's only a 20% chance of showers, so that's good news.
Yeah,
and around parade time, the temperature will be 84 degrees. Count on it, winds from the southeast at 8 to 12 miles per hour. So things are looking good in Miami. Things are looking pretty good for us, too. As you take a look right now, ground clutter around Jacksonville, bridges and buildings and things like that. Some shower activity off the coast of Savannah, and some more as you see down to the southwest, just around Port St. Joe and places like that. Now, we'll take a look at what's happening as far as highs today. We will see 91 at the airport, 88 at the coast. On the coast today, marine forecast, southwesterly winds at 10 knots, seas 1 to 3 feet. Inland waters a light to a moderate chop. Mostly sunny today, just an isolated shower or thunderstorm or two. High 91 inland. And tonight, partly cloudy and still just a slight chance of a renegade shower. The low 71, 69 at the beaches. A little more moisture coming in Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, plenty of sunshine. And even on Saturday and Sunday, we'll see those peekaboo skies. So it looks like a fairly good weekend with a little rain mixed in.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
You're welcome.
Coming up, if you own a Ford, you'll want to listen up. We're going to have a list of recalls for you in just a minute.
17 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at what's coming up at 6 o'clock this evening. The news on 12 with Marcia and Lee. That, of course, followed by World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. At 7 p.m., it's Entertainment Tonight and a brand new show as well. 7:30, win, lose, or draw.
It was a first-class day for the First Coast. The smiles on these kids' faces tell the story. This Labor Day weekend, when you and TLV-12 raised $411,573 for MDA.
You all have been super, and everyone here appreciates everyone in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia.
Thank you for helping us make good things happen.
Hey, let's take a drive.
Great idea, Dad. I'll just get my hat.
Every family has its shabby little secrets.
Everybody ready?
But the Benson secret is shabbier than most.
We recognize you, Bensons. Get that shabby pile of junk painted. Uh-oh, better get Mako.
Mako, state-of-the-art auto painting and body repair. High-tech low prices keep Mako on top.
I never have to wear my nose again.
Countrywide Mobile Home Sales is having a spectacular after Labor Day sale. Buy a 1988 single-wide or double-wide mobile home and receive a $2,000 Sears gift certificate. With our 20-year financing plan, qualified buyers can move in today and pay only 8.99% interest with no monthly payments till November. And don't forget about the $2,000 Sears gift certificate. But you need to come on by today while this limited offer is still available. So when you look for a mobile home, remember 3 things: Countrywide Mobile Home Sales, Fleetwood, and Homes of Merit. And hey, what you see in this commercial is what you get.
Here's the reason we have our own photo lab at Eckerd. Lisa. You see, we send film of Lisa to the photo labs other stores use. But they never send her back looking quite like herself. So we developed our own photo lab, a lab that's been awarded the Kodak Color Watch seal. Unlike most stores, we have our own lab. Because at Eckerd, it's just more important that Lisa look like Lisa. Eckerd Photo Finishing. Nothing looks better.
If you own a Ford, you're going to want to take a look at your TV screen right now. This is a list of the over 4 million cars and vans Ford is recalling due to a possible fuel line problem. All Mercury Sables, Ford Tauruses, and Aerostar vans from 1986 through 1988. There have been several hundred reports of engine fires caused by a failure in the fuel line. On the controversial sales tax, our House Budget Chairman says lawmakers ought to consider exempting some more services from the tax to satisfy the opposition. Sam Bell says if compromising with the biggest protesters would avoid sending the whole sales tax to the ballot, then the legislature ought to do that. Bell says otherwise Florida might lose the whole tax, and he says that would be disastrous. When asked if the exemptions would include the advertising industry, Bell said, "You all didn't just roll off a turnip truck, did you?" And I guess that means yes. Mike?
Thanks, Joni. Right after the break, we're going to talk about a program that allows you to make the class without the pressure of having to make the grade. Time now for a look at the school lunch menu for Thursday, September 10th.
Hi,
My name is Robert Smith. I'm from Lake Forest Elementary. Today we're having hamburger on bun or turkey with noodle and sesame seed roll, potato tots, raw vegetables, sample with dip, chilled applesauce, gelatin cubes. Good morning, Jacksonville.
Recreational Factory Warehouse, the nation's largest spa outlet, has just purchased one of the South's largest spa factories, and we're liquidating spa inventory with savings of up to 50%. 6-person in-ground spa shells only $7.88, lounger models $6.88, 7-footers just $4.88, and complete portable spas only $13.88. Also save on displays, blends, and factory seconds. Hundreds of spas to choose from at unheard of savings. But don't wait, quantities are limited and all sales are on a first-come, first-served basis. Hurry to Recreational Factory Warehouse, your factory direct spa superstore.
Furniture World USA takes out all the frills. Low overhead means low prices for you. We don't have things like expensive carpet or fancy showroom. We don't even own any of those high-priced delivery trucks. Therefore, you save big. For instance, look at this 5-cushion, 3-piece incliner sectional covered in a durable nylon velvet. You can pick it up at Furniture World USA for only $698. That's right, the total price is only $698 at Furniture World USA, 5320 James Road at the corner of 103rd Street.
Hello, I'm Lynn Brown, the Insurance Benefits Director of the Dentist Place at Sears. We'd like to announce our 3-point program that makes it easy to file your insurance claims. First, we'll help you fill out your form, explain your coverages, and file your claim for you. Second, we'll accept the assignment of benefits directly from your insurance company. And third, we'll charge any balance not covered to your Sears charge or other credit card. That's why so many employees of local companies and military personnel trust our insurance staff with their claims. Shouldn't you?
Mike Davidson Ford's year-end clearance sale brings you the best deals ever on new 87 Fords. I repeat, every car, truck, and van in stock is included in this sale. Buy at spectacular closeout prices, up to $3,000 off factory sticker. Take up to 66 months to pay. Receive up to $1,000 in cash rebates or finance as low as 1.9%. Buy now, and we'll make your first payment for you. That's Mike Davidson Ford, your only Southside Ford dealer. 9650 Atlantic Boulevard, across from Regency Square.
6:22 on this Thursday morning and 74 degrees. This is Good Morning Jacksonville. Well, this morning we'd like to tell you about a program that allows area residents to observe JU credit classes merely for the enjoyment of it. Now, it's simply called a listener's license. Imagine, if you will, returning to class without the hassle and pressure of having to make that grade. Well, joining us today are Sharon Bryan and Conrad Halpin. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Mike.
How did this program even first get on the drawing board?
It was an idea that was given to me by a professor at Jacksonville University who had attended a very large university. And it was a program that was there and is in many other universities under different names, of course. And I just decided that it was a great way for the non-traditional student to come to Jacksonville University.
Hence, non-traditional student. Conrad, how did you get interested in it?
I met one of the JU actresses at a function, and she told me about the program, had me meet Sharon, and I'm in the program now.
What are you studying?
Taking dramatics classes.
How do you apply it?
To work or life? Or
to life itself.
Well, I find that it works quite well. Dramatic class, you're using drama all the time. You act as you live. And the classes are informal. There's no hassle of grades or credit. And I seem to get along okay with 20-year-olds.
I was going to say, being a non-traditional student, I'm sure there are much younger people in the classes?
Some of them weren't born when I was going to college.
You got no problem with that?
No, not at all. They accept me, I accept them.
And the students learn from him too, especially in theater. He comes from a different walk of life, obviously, and from a different era, and they're not familiar with that era. And so he gives a little and they give a little, and he stays up to date with what's happening today. And they learn things that they probably could learn from history books, but it's a lot nicer to learn from someone that has lived through it.
And let's talk about cost and classes that are available.
The exciting thing about this program is that it costs all of $200 for an academic year. It goes from September to September. You're allowed to take 2 classes per semester, and there are absolutely no hassles. There's no paperwork. You go up to the continuing education office, you write your $200 check, and they hand you a small card that allows you to be a listener in any class that you have to go to the professor and ask the professor if they will allow you to be a listener in that class. We have over 50 majors. We have so many programs available. There are a few, obviously, that are limited to space available, but there are just too many to name. The Fine Arts Department is very, very welcoming in this program, which is marvelous to us because we do have a lot of interest in our fine arts areas.
Bottom line, to our listeners out there, if they wanted to participate, what would the 2 big reasons be to join a program like this?
Well, basically, because I'm a JU graduate myself, I would say because it's on Jacksonville University's campus. It's a wonderful place to be.
Sounds like a pitch there.
It is, but it's also a wonderful place to be, and mainly for their own enrichment.
Conrad, as a student, 2 main reasons.
No hassle. You just take a class and enjoy it. You don't worry about grades. You don't have that kind of pressure. And in the dramatic department, it's not known for unattractive people of either sex.
And also, I'd like to mention that with Grandparents' Day coming up and with the holidays coming up, it's a great gift idea too for a gift certificate.
Okay. Thank both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, before we run out of time, I'd like to give that information for folks to call.
Yes, please do. Call 744-3950. Ask for the Continuing Education Office. It's extension 2271.
Thank you, folks, both, once again. 26 minutes past the hour. Let's take a 30-minute look ahead for Joan Lovett. Joni?
I know Conrad's not old enough to replace history books. In our next half hour, we're going to talk about the Pope's visit to Florida amid what some say is a turbulent time for the Catholic religion. We're also going to get the Jewish point of view on this visit. Police are investigating 2 murders at this hour. We've got some fresh details to pass along to you on those. And later on, of course, Corey Dalton's Thursday viewer makeover. If you usually leave us at this point, we like to give you one last check on the weather, and I'd like to urge you to stay around for the whole show tomorrow if you can. We've got some special things coming up.
Okay, right now we'll tell you quickly that you can expect clear skies when you head out this morning. 74 degrees, winds are calm, and pressure is steady at 29.99 inches sea level. Humidity 93%, SkyTrack, nothing really happening in our immediate area, but we will see something later on. Let's close in on that and show you where the cool front is. This will turn into a warm front and track to the north later today, but most of the activity will stay right along it. This afternoon, our high at the airport, 91 degrees, 91 south side. Palatka, 89 in Brunswick. On the coast, beach and boating forecast. Winds from the southwest at 10 knots, seas 1 to 3 feet. Inland waters light chop, yeah, that'll do. Light chop, yeah, to a moderate chop. And sound like Edward G. Robinson. Yeah, that'll do. Mostly sunny today. Isolated thunderstorms, but not many. Only to the north and northwest of town, high 91. Tonight, partly cloudy. Still a chance of a renegade shower, again to the north, and overnight lows near 70. The next 5 days, a better chance of rain on Saturday and Sunday, and otherwise dry. Peekaboo sunshine, full sunshine today for most of us, and it will be a little bit warm, right around 90. Now, take a look. I want to tell you about actually coming up today on 12 before noon what we will be having. We will talk about what's in style and how to stay in style. Also, a balloonist and much, much more. And open phone lines. We'll talk to you, Jacksonville, and we hope you talk to us. So join me and Jeannie at 11:30.
All right, we've got another half hour of Good Morning Jacksonville coming right up. Our subject, Pope John Paul's visit to Miami. Stay with us.
LensCrafters has a better way to make your glasses. Our laboratories are right here in the store, so we can custom grind your exact prescription in about 1 hour and make adjustments right on the spot. Listen.
We had them faster and didn't have to wait.
The shortest time and the best pair I've ever owned. Eyeglasses within an hour and very good quality.
Got them in an hour.
Go in and get a good pair of glasses in an hour.
It's a better way to get your glasses.
LensCrafters. Quality eyeglasses in about an hour. Orange Park Mall and Regency Square Mall.
For making the new Jacksonville Wendy's your favorite fast service restaurants, we've been saying, thanks! But thanks isn't all you get. Right now, Wendy's hot and juicy quarter-pound hamburger plus a regular order of crisp, delicious French fries are both yours for just $1.50. That means you can feed 4 for $6.
4 for $6?
A hot and juicy quarter-pound hamburger and regular fries for $1.50. Feed 4 for just $6. It's how Wendy's says,
thanks, Jacksonville.
It's Tim Hogan's Carpet Outlet's DuPont Stainmaster Carpet Sale with no payments till next spring, April 1st. Now you can buy new DuPont certified Stainmaster carpet from Famous Queen Carpets, and the padding and wall-to-wall installation are at no extra charge. Buy today with our instant credit up to $2,500, and you can have it installed tomorrow with no payments, nothing, till next spring, April 1st. So hurry to Tim Hogan's DuPont Stainmaster Carpet Sale, featuring Famous Queen Carpets and no payments till April.
Hi, we are Miss Hart's 4th grade class of Lake Forest Elementary. Good morning,
Jacksonville! Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 10th, one of the most historic days ever for Florida as the Pope prepares for his visit in Miami. Expected to arrive in about 8 hours, and we're going to talk about the Pope's visit, how it affects you in this half hour.
Once again, guys, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It is Thursday morning, and as we do every Thursday morning, we feature Corey Dalton. Well, this time out, Corey is looking forward to fall, and I think you should too. He's going to feature the last of his summer seasonal changes in this half hour.
All right.
We have some new viewers joining us, and of course I want to mention again that this day usually is the peak of hurricane season for the Miami area. In fact, in 1960, a major hurricane, one of the last big ones, struck Florida around the Keys. I'll tell you more about that later.
It's not going to be the bearer of bad news, is it?
Well, no, I'm going to be the bearer of good news. We'll talk about parade weather for the papal visit and the presidential visit and our weather coming up.
All right. Here are the news headlines. Police are investigating 2 murders, one on the west side where a man found his wife shot to death in their home, the other at a Bay Meadows hotel where a Jacksonville beach man was shot in the face. We'll also tell you about a groundbreaking in a controversial sewer project on the north side, and a battle royal over the Girvan Road landfill, which was supposed to close but now will stay open. And of course, our big story today, the Pope's arrival in America, starting this afternoon in Miami. Details are forthcoming, but first a little more on that weather.
Weather is looking good, really is, except for South Georgia. You folks up there, you might see a few showers today, a little more often than we will, but we're in good shape along the first coast.
All right.
Tell you why, as we look outside, you notice we have clear skies. Some of you are just stumbling around the house now, trying to get it together to head on outside, saying, well, should I go to work? Of course you should. 74 degrees is the temperature. Winds are calm. It's too good a day not to. Pressure is steady at 29.99 and humidity 93%. SkyTrack will take a look now and show you there is a frontal zone. It's a cool front stretching all the way from Savannah back on to the west and northwest of Lake City. And with that, just a few isolated showers at this time. At the surface, we'll show you what's happening by afternoon rush hour, and we will have a few showers dropping in right along that boundary, as you can see. Some of them closing in on Lake City, and you might even see one down around Clare, Putnam County, and Palatka, you might have a chance. Gainesville mostly to the south there. Otherwise, things are looking good. Very widely scattered showers today. Now, by this afternoon, the front will turn into a warm front and more or less hang where it is and start to bow itself back up again with low pressure right over southeastern Georgia. So most of the shower activity right along this area. And of course, on Friday, you'll see the front continue its movement and track to the north and head right over southern Tennessee, just to the north of Atlanta and back out to sea around Charleston. High pressure starts to ridge in. This is a very weak high pressure area at this time, but nonetheless, it will move into Florida. And look at that. That's more good news for Miami, although partly sunny skies tomorrow for the Pope. And let me tell you this, you will have high humidities tomorrow, but today in Miami, mostly sunny, a high of around 92, and around noon to 1 o'clock today, the temperature should be around 84 degrees. The parade is looking good. Now we'll take a look at the marine forecast for the first coast. Southwest winds 10 knots, seas 1 to 3 feet, inland waters a light to a moderate chop. High tide at Mayport 11:21, and again tonight at 11:43. The low tide at 5:21 this afternoon. The forecast today, mostly sunny, an isolated thunderstorm. Some of the TLV viewing area will see that again to the northwest of Jacksonville and to the north mainly. High of 91 inland, 88 at the coast. Tonight partly cloudy, just a slight chance of a shower, and you'll see the low around 70 degrees. The moon will be in its last quarter on the 14th. It's waning now. I love that, waning. Beats waxing. Friday, 90 degrees will be the high, and just a slight chance of showers. Sunday and Monday, or rather Saturday and Sunday, better chance of showers. Monday and Tuesday, mostly dry again. Temperatures in the mid-80s to around 90 degrees. It looks pretty good, really.
Waning beats waxing?
Sure. Waxing moon is when you get fuller and nice and big, and that's when the werewolves come out. You know, the stories.
Oh, well, heavens.
Doesn't really happen, of course.
That's
but,
right.
A waning moon is one that's kind of getting smaller.
Okay, Rick. Thank you. Here are today's top stories. Jacksonville police are investigating 2 murders at this hour. A West Side man found his wife shot to death in their home last night. Police say 51-year-old Patty E. Lee was lying by her front door with bullet wounds in her chest, and their house had been ransacked. Several hours later, a fight outside the Best Inns Hotel in Bay Meadows ended in a shooting. Early reports say 2 people in room 209 heard a scuffle outside their door, and when they opened it, the fight tumbled inside, where one man shot another. Police now say the victim is a 19-year-old Jacksonville beach man. They have not released the name. After 7 months, the city is finally breaking ground on a controversial sewer project on the north side. When it is finished, the people who live on Laura Street will no longer be flushing raw sewage straight into the Trout River. Al Peffley has the story.
City workers are now tearing up the street at 68th and Laura. The idea is to extend the sewer line down Laura Street to several homes. 6 of them are owned by former city councilman Jim Atkins. Last winter, health officials went to Atkins' home in the 7800 block of Laura. They found each time he flushed the toilet, it went straight into the Trout River. Other nearby homes were also dumping human waste into the river. Authorities told Atkins he was breaking the law last February. Atkins was cited by health officials earlier this summer after he failed to clean up this problem within 90 days. Publicity over this situation may have cost him the election. 7 property owners are splitting the cost of the work, which comes to almost $28,000. Atkins is paying the biggest share, $5,200. How do you feel about the work finally getting underway?
I'm proud it's here. I'm glad it's here.
Are you paying for part of it?
Oh, yeah.
How much is it costing you?
Don't remember. About $4,000 something.
$4,000?
See you later.
Al Peffley, Good Morning Jacksonville.
We understand that an order by the mayor to keep the Gervin Road landfill open has some of you fighting mad. The city had planned to close the landfill, but the new one is running behind schedule, so the city made a deal with the Department of Environmental Regulation to keep it open. What they have now is a consent order in place of a permit.
We found that we could not issue a permit because their operation would not meet the current rules, meaning they can't put a liner and leachate control on a landfill that's already existing.
What this consent order does is to close the landfill, have an orderly closing, and to impose more environmental monitoring on us to make sure that we're not harming the environment.
So the landfill will close, but not immediately. Instead, it will take more trash under close supervision. Nearby residents who protested last spring that the landfill was too full say this decision means war. And of course, our big news for Florida this morning is the Pope's visit to Miami. He is expected to arrive at about 2 this afternoon. Later, he'll hold a mass for hundreds of thousands of people. Some of them will be from Jacksonville. We were there a half hour ago when 3 busloads left Immaculate Conception Church downtown. Pope John Paul says his reasons for the visit are simple.
I desire to pray with them, to listen to them, and to speak to them.
The Pope's visit is to last for 10 days, and President Reagan is expected to meet with him this afternoon. Now, a number of issues have come up concerning the Pope's visit. Some say he's coming here to talk with Catholics who are apparently divided with the Vatican on some traditional Catholic beliefs. There are also some protests by Jews. We're going to talk with a rabbi and a local priest when we come back. Stay with us.
Magazine. Now, more than ever, you can't afford to miss a minute.
Weekdays at 9 on WTLV TV 12.
Toyota dealer lots are overflowing. All shipments have been diverted to the Normandy Mall, 5205 Normandy Boulevard. This excess inventory must be sold this week. Over 500 new Toyotas, all marked down. Plus $1,000 cash back on every new MR2, every Cressida, every Corolla 4-door. $2,000 cash back on every Toyota pickup. $3,000 cash back on Toyota vans or 0% financing. Over 500 new Toyotas assembled at Normandy Mall on sale this week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Normandy Mall on the west side of Jacksonville.
This is comfy.
Welcome to Hideaways.
Did you know that this chair folds over to become this ottoman?
The sleeper sofa of today is not the mechanized monster of the past. It's a quality all-mattress sleeper that converts this easily. This is stylish, practical, fun furniture for daytime and nighttime. We custom build your hideaway with your choice of fabric.
I like this one.
Shop Hideaways, Argyle Village, Orange Park, and now Pablo Plaza, Jacksonville Beach.
Welcome to Glass and Brass Interiors, Gainesville's new and exciting shopping adventure. With truly unusual gift ideas, decorative accessories, and beautiful home furnishings. We specialize in mirrored walls and rich European colors of pink rosa, blue, and amber to add elegance to your home. We have a variety of brass and European beds and table bases with glass tops in all sizes and shapes, in stock and ready for immediate delivery. And be sure to check out our collection of exotic plush stuffed animals. Come in and we guarantee you'll go ape. Visit Glass and Brass Interiors today.
It is 20 before 7. The Pope's visit here is perhaps the biggest event of the decade. The pontiff will be met by hundreds of thousands of devoted followers, no doubt, but some people within his own religion are boycotting the visit, saying the ways of the Catholic Church must change. Also, some Jews are opposed to the visit, many of them angry over the Pope's visit with Austrian President Kurt Waldheim, who they say is a Nazi war criminal. Joining us this morning to talk things over are Father Fred Park from St. Joseph's in Mandarin and Rabbi Howard Greenstein from the Jacksonville Jewish Center. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Father, let's start with you, since this mostly affects Catholics in our area. Why are the times turbulent, some say?
Well, the church has gone through a period of change, obviously in the last 20 years, but I think there's more of a stability than turbulence now. I don't see that as a huge factor. I think there's more said about it than there really is. You know, and I am associate pastor in a parish, a suburban parish. The population in the parish predominates 20s and 30s, some 40s. That's the general population there. Very active group of people.
Well, many people are opposed to, say, the Pope's stand on homosexuality, women's rights within the church, abortion, a lot of things. And the Pope has been quoted as saying, in fact, that he's a little disturbed with American Catholics, feeling that they've lost the fear of God. What is your response to that?
Well, like I say, from what I see in the parish that I'm working in now, granted, there's people who obviously are not going to agree with everything the church says, but I think there's part of the life of the Catholic Church is its flexibility. I think a lot of people say, well, it's not that flexible, but I think over the centuries it has been more flexible than a lot of people give it credit for. And I think young people can live with that. Even though they might not agree with everything, they seem to be very comfortable with that, you know, even though they might not agree with every aspect.
How do you minister to those young people who are maybe having problems with the religion and dealing with some of the older values and traditions?
Well, it's on an individual and private basis that we deal with them. You know, they're very, very conscious of their relationship with the Lord, and I think that's the most important thing. And we try to deal with that on a case-by-case basis. Granted, the church has normative teachings, and we have to bring those normative teachings present to them. We have to make them aware of those normative teachings. But granted, people are struggling, and we have to minister to them in their struggles, knowing that not everybody is going to be exactly where the Lord wants them at a particular time.
Rabbi Greenstein, how are the Jews feeling about this visit, especially in light of the Pope's visit with Austrian President Kurt Waldheim?
Well, before I answer that, Joan, just for the record, I'm the rabbi of Congregation of Harvard Chesed, the Reformed Jewish congregation, not the Jacksonville Jewish Center.
I stand corrected.
I have enough trouble doing just that alone. As far as the Jewish community is concerned, there was some dissension in the Jewish community, some mixed feelings. I think there may still be. I think that the distress over the Pope meeting with Waldheim was not so much disagreement with Catholic theology, whatever may dictated that meeting, but that the Pope did not even address Waldheim's wartime activities. It made no separation even between the man and the activity. That would have been welcome.
I read where the Jews had met with the Pope and had worked out some sort of a common ground and had, I guess, pardoned his visit and decided to deal with that. But then I also just heard that the Pope plans a second visit. What will that do? Will that divide everybody even further?
No, I think that the first meeting in Rome that was held, I think, just a week or 10 days ago, was designed to pave the way for the meeting that will be held in Miami tomorrow. I think that basically they agreed to disagree. I think there was at least some airing of respective points of view. The Catholic Church, by the way, did announce that it was undertaking a study, an official study of the Vatican on the whole issue of anti-Semitism, the Holocaust, which I think placated a number of Jewish leaders.
Okay, and that brings me to my final question for you, Father Park. What compromises, what dialogue has taken place to establish some relationships between different denominations?
Well, in the Mandarin area, we have a interfaith association, a clergy association, of which I believe a rabbi is a part of it. So we do try to work together, and I think things are moving along. Obviously, we have to disagree on so many issues, and yet we're all working in the same direction and the same God. And I think that's something that we have to keep in mind always.
Very well said. Thank you. Thank you both for joining us, Rabbi Greenstein and Father Park. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We've got sports and weather coming right up. Stay with us.
How much do you save shopping at Winn-Dixie every week?
I save about $15 shopping at Winn-Dixie every week. On my total food bill, I save at least $20 a week.
I'd say I save about $10 a week at Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie saved us $30 on our last grocery bill.
I would say that by shopping at Winn-Dixie, I save $10 to $15 a week.
I can save $10 shopping at Winn-Dixie, and I can't save $10 shopping at any place else.
Winn-Dixie, unbeatable.
Hi, I'm Tim Deegan, meteorologist for the News on 12, with another tip to help you make it through the hurricane season. Before you're faced with a power outage, it's a good idea to pack newspaper into empty areas of your freezer and adjust it to the coldest setting. The newspaper will act as insulation and keep your foods from wasting. It will also absorb any water that begins to collect as your freezer thaws.
Another good tip is to have a TLV hurricane tracking chart packed away. They're available at Pick and Save, Burger King, and the Dentist Place Orthodontic Centers.
All you need now is a car that won't start. At least one car company won't leave you stranded. If one of their new cars ever breaks down, someone will be sent out to help. It's part of a 24-hour roadside assistance plan called On Call. But the best part about this plan is that it comes with a Volvo. So you may never need it.
Visit Parish Volvo and buy a Volvo today.
Why not pursue an alternative to your lifestyle? Bringing People Together dating service was established in 1977. Companionship and happiness go hand in hand. If you were positive you could meet someone for dating through Bringing People Together and be able to feel safe and secure knowing each member is screened, would you join? If you're between the ages of 25 and 80, make that positive decision. Call now. Phones are answered 24 hours a day. Call toll-free 1-800-648-4401.
647, 13 away from 7 o'clock and 74 degrees. Welcome back to Good Morning Jacksonville. And in this edition of sports, we're going to take a look at football and baseball. Now, in prep football, the question is, will the Paxton Eagles soar in their brand new division? And in Major League Baseball, I like this question. Are the New York Mets gearing up for that October Classic, the World Series?
No way.
Here's Harmon with sports.
Thank you, and good morning once again, everyone. In this half, we're going to talk football and baseball. First of all, this morning, let's continue our coverage of local prep football teams with a look at the 1987 Paxton Eagles. And who better to describe this unit than the head coach, Seth McCullough.
So we're not big team-wise. We got quick, aggressive kids, and that's what we're trying to build on. We're trying to make that a positive force for us. We expect to be competitive every Friday night and be able to play with anybody on our schedule. A lot of people call it the toughest district in the state. I know in the past years it has been, with Raines and Ribault and Lee and, of course, Inglewood stuff every year, too. So it's going to be competitive. I'm not going to make a prediction, except, like I said, I think we'll be competitive every Friday night and have our chance to win every time we go out.
The Eagles were 5-5 under McCullough, who also graduated from Paxton. And Friday night, they opened the season in St. Augustine. The key, avoiding injuries naturally, and with a tough schedule in a new district, a 5-5 repeat might not be so bad for the Paxton Eagles. Turning to college football, the University of Miami, they're off the next 2 weekends before they meet Arkansas. The Gators and quarterback Kerwin Bell and his shoulder home this weekend against Tulsa, while Georgia is a 14-point favorite to beat Oregon State in Athens. Now, Florida State will meet East Carolina in Greenville Saturday. FSU coming off an impressive win over Texas Tech, thanks to the play of some young freshmen like number 22, former Lehigh General Edgar Bennett, with some nice running. Now, Coach Bowden says for FSU to meet their lofty expectations, they'll have to get better and better and better.
Again, hope we can improve. That's a big thing. We do not feel that if we play exactly like we played the other night, that we will not win all of our games. The key is to improve every Saturday. We got off to a good start, and but we must improve. Once we level off, we're going to ask to be licked.
I look for Florida State to have a great season, probably the best of any team in Florida, and Miami might push them. Let's turn to baseball. The National League East looks like a three-team race. The Montreal Expos knocked off St. Louis in Montreal last night, while in New York, the patented swing of the Strawberry. He had 2 home runs, his 33rd and 34th of the year. They won 11-5. Mookie Wilson added a 3-run blast that capped a 7-run 6th inning. Rick Aguilera won his 5th straight. Final score, New York beat Philadelphia 11-5. And Montreal beat St. Louis 8-3, so now the Mets trail St. Louis by only a game and a half. Pittsburgh beat Chicago 4-3, Cincinnati 4, Los Angeles 1, Atlanta won a game. They beat San Diego 3-2. In the American League, a few scores: Oakland beat Texas 11-7, Boston 5, the Yankees 3, Seattle beat Cleveland 9-4, and Minnesota over Chicago 2-1. That's our sports. Have a nice day. Hope you'll join us tonight at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Harmon. 10 before 7. Stand by, folks. The Mets are coming.
A few lucky swings. They get
Well,
11
isn't he a
runs.
happy pup?
Yeah. A little brightness to his season, I guess.
I guess you could use it after all this time with the Mets.
They're gonna beat the Cards.
I don't think
In
so.
a few years, yeah.
Okay, guys. Okay.
Let's get on with weather while we can still do that. We're going to tell you about what's going on today, and really we're going to start out with clear skies. It looks pretty good out there right now, and already we have 74 degrees, but SkyTrack picking up not much in the form of shower or thunderstorm activity. One lonely little shower out in the sea. Now, take a look at the surface and you'll see where the front is. It's cool right now, and it's staying to the northwest of us, but it will change later today. 88 degrees, as you see, will be the high at the beach, 91 at the jetport. By afternoon rush hour, you see some showers moving into the west and to the north at this time, but we'll show you what else is going on, too. Also this evening, the front will turn warm and start to move back to the north, and on Friday, you can see it all along, moving a little higher, taking the showers with it. High pressure beginning to ridge in just a little bit. Low pressure still developing over the Gulf of Mexico. Now, marine forecast today, it looks like this. Southwest winds at 10 knot, seas 1 to 3 feet. Inland waters a light to a moderate chop. Today's forecast mostly sunny, high around 91 degrees. And tonight, just partly cloudy, a slight chance of showers, low near 70. The next 5 days, Saturday and Sunday, have a fair shot at rain. Otherwise, some sunshine all the way, and it's looking pretty good. Now, did you know on this day in history, September 10th, 1960, Hurricane Donna struck the Florida Keys. Some of the gusts estimated at 180 miles per hour. Donna moved north over the peninsula. I remember that as a little boy. It just set out an orange grove, and Donna destroyed it. Now, did you know this? The average American uses 8 times as much fuel energy as an average person anywhere else in the world. 8 times as much.
Aren't we awful?
Yeah, we're terrible.
All right. Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome. It is 10 before 7. It's 8 before 7. There we go. Now, let's take a look at the lunch menu for Duval County Schools.
Hi, my name is Robert Smith. I'm from Lake Forest Elementary. Today we're having hamburger on bun or turkey with noodle and sesame seed roll, potato tots, raw vegetables, sample with dip, chilled applesauce, gelatin cubes. Good morning, Jacksonville.
Let the carpentry open a whole new world of light and color to complement and highlight your home and office. Just how good is the new DuPont Stainmaster? The carpentry thinks it's fantastic. It's specially treated to stay looking fresh and beautiful year after year. But don't take my word for it. Come in, see the amazing demonstration. You'll be convinced too. Best of all, it's on sale right now.
Get a beautiful set of flatware free.
You can work color magic in your home with a little help from the carpentry. Call 778-1846 today.
Would you like to lose 6 to 20 inches of unwanted fat in just one visit?
They guaranteed that I would lose 6 inches on my first visit or I wouldn't pay. I lost 11 inches.
Ultra-U's exclusive European wrap is not a temporary water loss. No special diets or exercise.
I went from a size 22 to a size 16, and Ultra-U guarantees that it'll stay off.
Ultra-U specializes in the reduction of cellulite.
I lost 2 inches off my thighs on my first visit.
Call Ultra-U today and take inches off now.
Hey, you know what's coming to Jacksonville September 18th, 19th, and 20th? It's the Shrine Circus. And we here at Kings Crown Ford want to get in on the action. Let me tell you what we're going to do. For the first 500 people to stop by, free circus tickets to the Shrine Circus. Remember those dates, September 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's going to be terrific. Also, you can see any member of the Shriners for your tickets to the Shrine Circus, September 18th, 19th, and 20th. And be sure to check out the great deals on Ford cars and trucks here at Kings Crown Ford. I-95 at Godfrey Boulevard, Jacksonville. Guys, what are we doing here? We're dealing!
Would you like $3,500 delivered to your house?
Yes.
Have you checked your mailbox today?
No.
Well, inside, you'll find over 50 coupons that'll save you up to $3,500 at your favorite places to shop. Vogue, First Coast Florist, Showbiz Pizza, Lazy Boy Showcase Shops, Ron Turner Cycles. Oh, and don't forget to play the WTLV Daily Sweepstakes. Winning has never been so easy. Keep checking your mailbox and watch WTLV for more details.
It is 6:53, 7 minutes away from 7 o'clock. Yes, I was looking over there. As the summer is about to end, we look forward to the fall. and so is makeup specialist Corey Dalton. In this edition of Makeovers, a look at the last of the summer seasonal changes. Time now for Makeovers with Corey.
Hi, I'm Corey Dalton, and welcome to another segment of Makeovers on TLV Channel 12. For the viewers at home that would like to be a guest, or if you simply like a makeup chart, you can do so by writing a self-addressed stamped envelope to Channel 12, Post Office Box TV 12, Jacksonville, Florida. You can zip that 32231. This is the last of my summer segments for Makeovers. I'll be very anxious to get on to the fall makeup, having just come back from New York, but until I do, our last one is another seasonal change. I've taken her from very flat, sort of boring brown hair, if you will, and I've used a little color enhancement process to get a little bit more of a polished amber look in. And for that reason, with these pretty blue eyes, we'll be following just that sort of a color palette. Starting at the top of the chart, as always, with concealer. Just around the, in this case, around the lightened area, because we want to balance everything. A much lighter application. And you'll see the skin is very good. We don't have a lot to cover, so everything's going to be consequently lighter. Moving immediately onto your foundation. Dotting on the face. And again, for this case, I really just want to blend together where she's gotten sun. Which takes us onto the eye area. During the entire eye orbit, this is sort of a brick tone. And again, keeping in mind, we're working with hair that's a lot redder now, so I want a marriage of color without a lot of color activity going on in the face. And while we're at it, let's go right to the blush area. Same thing applies, 2 fingers just up underneath it. And circle up and around. Repeating on the opposite side of the face, just below it. This is unblended, of course. And take it right into the corner of the eye on both cases. Bottom and the top of the nose. Now, the only other thing I want to do from this point is really a little bit of contouring. I'm going to, again, a blush product, but a darker one. Coming into this 2 area, because I still want a little definition, but it's going to be very soft and very quick. Which takes us next to eyeliner. Looking straight up, I am going to get a little strong with the black around the eye, 1 to intensify the blue, and 2 to open this eye up just a little bit. Close, please. Start at the outside corner. A little thicker than usual. The normal rule of thumb is as close to the base of the lash as possible. In an eye that is smaller, we're going to break the rules in the center only and get a little bit fatter. And lip liners next. Lips together, please. Let's go right back over the existing pigment area. We're not trying to make little bows or just try to redefine the pigment area. And last but not least, for balance, big smile, please. I'm using a darker, which you'll notice. This is a bronze tone, which will certainly bring the marriage of all these colors together, the bronze amber type hair tones, cheek tones, eye colors, and again, for balance, the lips.
That, of course, is another case of makeover magic. Don't forget, next week, Corey Dalton starts his fall makeovers. We're going to find out now if fall weather is in the air with Rick Mitchell.
Well, it's getting close, Mike. Right now, we'll show you the forecast today. We'll see mostly sunny skies, and marine forecast is looking good, too. Isolated thunderstorms possible. Winds from the southwest at 10 knots, seas 1 to 3 feet. Inland waters a light to a moderate chop. Now, the 5-day outlook looking pretty good, except Saturday and Sunday, a chance of rain. Temperature still a little warm. And coming up today on 12 before noon at 11:30, hot air balloonists. We'll talk to one of those and how to stay in style. So join us then.
All right, sounds good. Tomorrow, we're going to focus on the problem with illiteracy in Jacksonville.
Also,
You're going to be talking about Sunday's movie?
Sunday's movie, and we'll take a look at the illiteracy rate as it compares to the national level and chronicle some of the successes of our Duval County school system.
And we'll talk with some adults about how it feels not to be able to read. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Is it a ride only for daredevils? Join us at 11:30.
Really wild animals.
Good morning, everyone. In the headlines this morning, Pope John Paul II has left Rome and is now on his way to the United States.
And stung by criticism from a Supreme Court justice, President Reagan defends his record on civil rights.
And Miami residents can expect plenty of sunshine and hot temperatures when the Pope arrives this afternoon.
Well, good morning.
Good morning to you.
You need for an allergy with a stuffy nose, sneezing, watery eyes, and headache. Sudafed can't relieve all those symptoms. Chlortrimeton can't. Actifed can't. But Comtrax 8